Okay, so I guess you gathered from the other videos that I've been to college. I have. I went to the University of Texas at Arlington first. I was there for a year and a half. My major was undecided because of how I had to get my entrance. You had to maintain like a certain GPA before you could declare a major, which at that time it was going to be computer science. That's what I planned on doing. Then after a year and a half, it got too hard for me to do the homework and hustle at the same time. And plus, I was paying for Darian to go help. I was helping him with his tuition and books and rent and everything and car note and all his bills. So I was taking care of my stuff and his stuff and my tuition. I was paying for my tuition out of pocket, like everything. And it was just easier for me to hustle. So, and then at that point, I was like, well, if I could just help somebody get through school, because nobody in my family other than my father graduated from university. So I was like, let me just help my boyfriend. So that's what I did. I dropped out and I went back to hustling full time. So that was when I first moved to Texas. I had been there for like a year. That's when I got the entrance into University of Texas at Arlington. Then I moved to South Carolina. I tried to get enrolled at University of South Carolina, but it was super hard. It seemed like it got harder for me to hustle and try to do school. Like even just trying to get enrolled was extremely difficult. That didn't work out. So one thing led to another. I ended up back in Nashville, and I got the job. Like clockwork. Every time. I got accepted. Moved back to Nashville. Then through my job, I was working at Accredo, which is a mail order pharmacy for long-term prescription medications, specialty medications. I got into school online. That was for now with the online school you can declare a major. You have to declare a major. You can't do undecided. It was business administration, which I didn't want to do. I didn't like it no way. That didn't work out because something happened with I got a virus on my computer and I couldn't use it anymore. And then it got too difficult to try and get another computer. And I was working a job and hustle was over. So I ended up dropping out. I went back a third time online, business administration again. Once I got to still working with the same company, but I had moved to Memphis, and at that time I was with Phoenix University. I lasted one semester with Phoenix, and then because of my living situation, I ended up dropping out and moving out of Memphis. I lasted one semester. No, well, I don't know. It's not called really a semester. It's like a cycle. I lasted like 2 cycles, which is the equivalent of one semester. And then from there, okay, so after Memphis, I got back to Nashville. I got hired at Amazon. First it was Memphis, then it was Atlanta. Then I went back to Nashville. I got hired on the Amazon. And I started doing online class again with the University of Oregon. And at that time, my major was psychology. So I ended up dropping out before I moved down here because, okay, the way I timed it, I would have graduated right before I moved here because I was scheduled to get down here actually in May in Brazil, but around November before the year before, I did all my lower tier classes and I was about to go into my upper tier classes. And I did one psychology class and I had a disagreement with the professor about what I how I psychologically processed the studies that she was giving us for homework. And I was like, no, this is not what this looks like to me. And she said, no, this is what this study is for, and this is the results. I said, no, that's not what that is. That's not what I'm seeing. What I see is this, and it doesn't. What you're saying doesn't make any sense. It's like you're lying to me. You're trying to teach me the lie to apply to life, and I can't do that. And so we butted heads, and the grade that she gave me for that class, it wasn't a fail. It's like a D, but you can't get a D in. Hey, get off my bag. Get off my bag. Get off my bag. It's the dog. You can't get a D. You have to redo the class. Hey, man, stop that. Stop that. You have to redo the class, and so if I was going to have to redo the class, I was going to have that same argument with the next professor or her again. I was like, no, this is what's going to happen. I think they're going to fail me, and I'm not going to be able to get this psychology degree. And because I had that D, that had extended the time that I was going to have to stay in Nashville. And I was like, no, I feel like something's going to keep happening every time when I'm trying to leave. So I'm just going to set a date. And regardless if I'm finished with anything or not, I'm still just going to go. And that's what happened. Oh, when it was time for me to sign up for the next class, I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I just stayed out of school. And then those last few months, the last 6 months before it's time for me to leave. As a matter of fact, I ended up, because it was November, remember had set the date of June to leave because that was when the graduation was. But then in November, when that happened, I was like, well, I can just move the date up. So I went online, like after I got my end of the year bonus with Amazon, and I bought my plane ticket. Like it was like the end of December, beginning of January. And I just kind of gauged. I just kind of went back and toggled back and forth with the date of when to leave, what day was going to be like a good price. And it ended up being the first weekend of May from June, which would have been the most affordable price. I mean, from January to May. And so from January to May, I just made sure that I spent as much time with my family before I left. And I was like, fuck school. I'm not going to be able to finish. So that's why I never graduated from college. But I'm not that far away from, it's like, only thing I got to do is my upper two classes. I have like 2 years to go and I'll be finished. And I have a degree. But, oh well.